Hello everyone, back again. First thing in the morning, heading to work here. Going to do a WWE Wrestlemania review from Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to try to go through it as quickly as possible, and it's going to be all over the place, so just be patient with me here. So basically, it looks like a lot of the faces, the baby faces, the good guys ended up winning at WrestleMania, which they try to do as much as possible. I think it might have been a bit overkill, really, because I mean, dang near every babyface won, especially every, um, that involved a title specifically. The only heels that really won, so to speak, were Logan Paul and Rhea Ripley, which Rhea Ripley is kind of being pushed as a face as well. So it's going to be quite something to see what happens from Raw afterwards and whatnot. And I've been trying to take a big step back, a big break, and try to reinvigorate my passion for WWE and whatnot and wrestling in general, because there's just so much information out there and everyone kind of reports everything ahead of time, and I know who's coming back, what's going to happen in each match, kind of why this happens, how this happens, and it really takes out the enjoyment. So I tried to get the most out of kind of learn to surprise myself again, try to surprise myself. Kind of hard to do, even though I'm not really on social media and all that as much. The main thing is YouTube, if you want to consider that social media, as opposed to the others. But it's very hard to be on the internet and not know what's going on with, especially wrestling results and whatnot. And you come across things, or you're told things. I don't know what that was. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah, so that's pretty much the situation at the moment. We had Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, finally losing to Sami Zayn. So Sami Zayn took the title from Gunther on day 666. I won't even go into that, but you obviously know the situation and how much is scripted and how that was done on purpose. Typical. That was the other heel, so to speak, that lost. But I think pretty much all the other faces won that I can think of that are more or less positioned as faces, by the company, so to speak. Yet the fans try to determine who the heel and face is and whatnot. And that's one of the big things that wrestling really is missing and whatnot, where you have a clear-cut good guy and a clear-cut bad guy, so to speak. And it's more like, okay, this guy's bad, but he does good things. This guy's good, but does bad things, etc. And you don't really have the universal type of, so to speak. And I feel like a lot of the heels should be faces, and a lot of faces should be heels a lot of times, based on their actions, and so to speak. Because I pay attention more to what they do as opposed to who's getting cheered, who's getting booed, because that can change every night depending on where you're at and whatnot. And, different reasons for that, and people with their fake outrage and whatnot. They don't know what's even going on, but they assume they do. They believe reports that they know nothing about to be true and so forth. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. We have Raw tonight. We had 2 nights of WrestleMania. This is the 3rd or 4th WrestleMania, I think. And I watched a couple reactions and whatnot, specifically to Cody Rhodes winning the world title from Roman Reigns after 1,300 days or something like that, over 3 years. So Roman had definitely a good reign there. It was a lot of really holding out to get the number higher and higher, and then you had the fans saying, oh, well, Hulk Hogan held the title for 4 years or whatever, so Roman has to beat that. And it's almost like you get in the position where it has to be booked differently based on the fans, because then if they want to go in that direction and try to give Roman the 4-year reign, so to speak, and then everyone sees it coming. There's people that see it coming and they go and tweet about it, or talk about it online, and then you have to kind of book around it. You have to go, okay, maybe we don't do it this way because it's too predictable, so to speak, for some people. But to me, I thought this show was very predictable. I thought some of them were kind of 50-50 on who would win, so to speak. I think Gunther losing was the most more unpredictable than the average thing. I didn't know that he had 666 days, or I would have predicted he definitely could have lost that, because you want to draw attention to that. We'll see if he ever wins Gunther ever wins the title back and they try to switch it, but we always know that he had the title for 666 days on his first reign. So don't tell me that's some kind of coincidence, WWE. Like, you did that on purpose. You know you did. It's not funny. It's not creative. That's your nod to your masters. So we had Bobby Lashley's team beat Karrion Kross's team. We had Bayley beating Io Sky. I really didn't think that needed to happen. The Bayley match, I didn't think that win necessarily had to happen, but I also kind of understand that you gave her the Royal Rumble win, so you should probably do something with that. So it's kind of one of those deals where I can see it both ways, like most of the time. You kind of see where they're going with that. Instead of just having them win the Royal Rumble and then they don't win. Like, that's kind of foolish. You know, I've always been a fan of, if you win the Royal Rumble, I want you to have a pretty good chance of winning. We had Drew McIntyre beating Seth Rollins, which I think definitely was the way to go there. And he was taunting CM Punk the whole time, pretty much. So they're definitely setting up Drew McIntyre and CM Punk down the line. But to see, I'm interested more in the promos and the actions in the match, so to speak. I think that could be interesting to see what they end up doing. Probably sometime before the end of the year, when CM Punk gets better. He hurt his arm or tricep, or one of those parts. I don't know, something. So he missed WrestleMania. They were supposedly going to do Seth Rollins versus CM Punk for the world title. Don't really have an opinion on that one right now. And I think they're going to do a callback to it, I'm sure, where CM Punk will probably face Seth Rollins eventually, but we'll go back and focus on the Drew McIntyre side of things. So he wins the title. I pretty much expected this long ago. As soon as they said that he was going to take the shot from CM Punk, I was like, you have to have him win here. Seth Rollins had the title for a long time. Not really a whole lot of interest going on with it. They gave him the new title, so they had a second champion, and they just had him hold it for like ever. I mean, this guy comes out, and he's taking his orders, he's fulfilling his agendas and whatnot, dressing, wacky clothes and whatnot. And, he pretends like he's an atheist and this and that, and mocks God, and wears black craft and verse pentagrams, all this stuff. But all the geeks like him, so I guess whatever floats your boat. I don't support that kind of stuff. That's, obviously they know what they're doing, and they think they're funny by trolling, so to speak. You got a grown man, he's got his own child, married and whatnot, acting like a fool. They're all acting like a bunch of fools. So, yeah, Drew McIntyre took the title, and I said long ago that Damian Priest should cash in and take the title from Drew, which he did. I didn't think it made any sense to do Damian Priest to cash in on Seth Rollins. Damian Priest had actually held the Money in the Bank briefcase for a long time, so he needed to cash it in within the next 3 to 6 months, I believe. I think it's about 3 months. A lot of people were upset when LA Knight didn't win the briefcase back in 23, and I kind of saw everybody saying LA Knight was going to win, and I didn't really agree. I didn't think that was really the case. One, he's a babyface, so why would you do that unless you're going to turn him heel? And that's someone you're not planning to turn heel unless you have to. So I don't think that's the right call. Yeah, I didn't think that would have been the right call. I think they were thinking long term with Damian Priest. He could be a heel for the most part. If you needed to turn him face, you could turn him face. I think that was the right call. I think it was the right call to cash in. I like that they did it at WrestleMania. So that started off the show. I didn't actually get to watch the show. I just kind of looked at a few things and saw what happened. I apologize if I missed any of the other things I didn't cover yet. I'm going to go back and talk about Saturday's show. So you had Roman and Rock versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. And I thought Rock and Roman needed to win this match. It would make the next night more interesting. It would make it look like they had less of a chance that Cody and Seth would have a chance to beat Rock and Roman after they had already lost in a tag match. So I think that was a decent call on their part. You had to give The Rock, make him look like, he gets his one match and he wins. So I think that was the right call there. You don't need to have the faces win every match. I agree on that one. I'm not going to go into the backstory of The Rock and all that stuff right now, but I'm not a blind worshiper of any of these people and whatnot. I don't worship people. But there's a lot of unnecessary type of hero worship type stuff going on with The Rock and some of these people, and I'm not a fan of it. I noticed that with Triple H a lot, especially after the main event where Cody Rhodes took the title. They're all kissing Triple H's butt. He comes out to the ring, hugging everybody. It was ridiculous. It's just really typical. I'm trying to remember what all happened. I said Rhea Ripley won. Sami Zayn won. It was a lot of matches, and I can't remember all of them. LA Knight beat AJ Styles. That was last night's match. I thought that was okay. I thought LA Knight needed a win. I just think that they had a lot more faces win, and now you don't really have a whole lot of strong heels because your two strongest people possibly in the whole show both lost. Your two champions, your male champions, and now it's kind of like they build them up all this time just to make them lose there. But I mean, I understand that's the point, but I don't know. I don't think you needed Gunther to lose, so to speak, if you're gonna have Roman lose. Let's see. Lights in my face. Great fun. What else happened? I apologize, guys. I'm just waking up here and driving and all this stuff. I'm trying to remember all this that happened. We had the women's tag match. We had the Damage Control, which was Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai against Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi. I thought the second team definitely had to win. I thought Damage Control was probably very likely to lose there. Give Jade Cargill her first WrestleMania win on her first appearance, so I think that was pretty good. In hindsight, just kind of looking at it, I would have predicted that one to happen as well. I thought that was very predictable. Like I said, excuse me, I'm trying to remember what all happened. There was like 13, 14 matches maybe. SmackDown, I believe Bronson Reed took the Andre the Giant Battle Royal win, which he was supposed to supposedly face Seth Rollins at the Australian show, and since he's Australian, they usually do that kind of stuff, which I think makes it actually very predictable, but sometimes fans are okay with that, so I mean, you can have it either way, I suppose. I'm hoping to do more of a in-depth reaction later. I'm just kind of doing a start, kind of what happened. I don't know. I just thought the show was very predictable from not actually really watching it. I thought that they really overbooked certain things and didn't do things exactly what I would have recommended. But I thought it was, like I said, very predictable. I think it was very much how it was going to happen from months ago, so I'm not surprised. Oh, we had Austin Theory and Grayson Waller taking one of the tag titles, and Miz and R-Truth taking the other set of titles, which who knows how long either of them will hold the titles. I don't think either of them necessarily have to keep them for long. I think Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are more likely to hold them for longer if you're doing the right thing. You had the faces of Miz and R-Truth winning for a feel-good moment. It wouldn't surprise me if they took them off from any day now, really. They got the win, and sometimes they like to surprise people and take the titles right back. So I definitely think that's a possibility. Whether right or wrong, we shall see, and kind of go from there. I apologize if I missed anything here. I'm just going into my destination here, and that should cover at least a good portion of it so far. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully more to come here soon. Thank y'all for watching. Love you guys. Have a good day. Bye then.